Hey guys, how's it going? Alright, so we're doing the video now on that OGIO Flight Vest. I've put all this stuff out here just to run through a few of the things that I've had. Obviously, this OGIO thing's more of a safety thing, but it also has the hydration, whereas the other ones are basically I've just used as a hydration. The very first thing that I got was the CAMELBAK, or CAMELBAK. That's 1.5 litres. CAMELBAKs, they're really good. Obviously, they were quite expensive to start with, but now that there's a lot of brands and stuff, they've come down in price. I can't remember the prices for them. I mean, they're all out there. You can just check out stuff. And some of this stuff, you most probably can't get anymore. It'd be different, better bloody models out there. But yeah, that was 1.5 litres of water. It basically has one little pocket. I never used it. I used to use this with Harry, the Boulevard, and when me and Craig did the Nullarbor run, which I don't have those videos on the Biker Bits channel. It's my old channel that I first started out with, which was Bendigo Web Central. I think they're still on there, but yeah, that's just old stuff. And it worked really well. It was great. 1.5 litres is all we needed. We're on cruises and just travelling down the highway, no worries at all. I tried to purchase bigger ones, but purchase them so that I could then on-sell them. And I bought about 4 of these ones. This holds 3 litres. Works really good, but I never actually used it because when I got it and I started thinking about it, and I actually ended up getting this one. There was no pockets, there's nothing, it's just a bladder, and I just thought, nah, you got to have pockets these days. They're just too bloody handy. So this one was when I did the Simpson Desert Ramble with Ken. This was actually sponsored to me from Liquid Containment, and this was a bit of a bloody teddy bear, because when I was out there and I was off the bike and bloody just trying to recoup, I'd be bloody using this as a pack, and I'd have the bloody thing and I'd be drinking the water out of it. I was very fond of that. This was really good because it sat, kind of like the way it hung, you didn't have the pressure coming down on here, because the back of it would actually sit on the seat, so it would take the weight. It was good because it had all the pockets. All these little side pockets were bloody great, because like me suntan lotion and the bloody lip stuff, and then whether it was Panadol, I can't remember exactly, tissues and bits and pieces. You just had these little pockets, and as you know, it only takes a couple of days, and then when you don't even think about it, you know exactly where you're going for what you want. You can get to it really quickly instead of delving into a bag trying to bloody find bits and pieces. That worked really, really well. I liked the bladder that was in this, and it was, I think it's a 3 litre, pretty sure. We'll find out in a minute. Because what I've actually done is I've taken the bladder out of this one and put it in this one. That on here, that's called, it's a CAMELBAK. That's called a big bite valve thing. I don't know, something like that. That one there is actually come off of this one, because it works really well. The one on here was okay, but it just didn't work the same. So this pack here, and another reason which I'll show you, I'm going to take you into there and give you a bit more of a show. I left water in the hydration pack that this one comes with, and it comes with a 2 litre. But I left water in it for I don't know how long it was, and it's discoloured it all, which I'll show you in a minute. I don't know whether it was a fault or you're not supposed to leave water in it for extended periods of time, so it was most probably my fault that it did it. But anyway, so this pack is actually a bit of that and a bit of that one. I've actually zip tied this, the big bite Duvalaki onto there. So it's a bit of a hack job, but it works really good. The problem with this one, I suppose, if I was to pick on it, would be that the zippers, the little bits and pieces have come off. Oop. Down here the zipper broke. It's still fine, it still works. That's got a rain cover which comes over it, which I never used. Actually, I'll take you over here because I've got a thing hanging up. This also has the bladder, but it also has a fuel bladder that you can fit into it. I'll just go over there now. So can you see that thing? I've zip tied it here. I just don't want to bloody pull it off. That's a fuel bladder, and that bladder fits into here, and there's a special little compartment that it would sit in there. Now I know a lot of people say, you know, carrying fuel on your back, and if it busts and then you're covered in fuel and whatever. I can detest. What would you say detest? I don't know. I can say that they don't break, they don't bust. That big one, that 12 litre one that I had, and that bloody bike going over and it falling down every time, it never busted. In the sun, it blowing up really bloody big, which I'll most probably do some later on when I touch on in future videos about the fuel. We'll go through that stuff. But that was a really good pack, because I think a lot of the motocross guys that are, you know, going out into the high country or whatever, and they don't, on their bikes they don't have the panniers and all that kind of stuff, so they don't really have much carrying capacity. They could have their water, their extra bit of fuel, and all their bits and pieces. They just have it on their back, and then they're free to bloody, you know, go crazy on their bikes which don't have anything on it. All right, back over here. Yeah, so great little pack. You can still get that. It's on liquidcontainment.com.au. I can't remember the price, but if you go to their website, you'll see the price for those. So now I've gone on to this. So this is the new hydration pack, and also the whole safety aspect vest, or whatever you want to bloody call it. We'll go into the man cave, and then we'll have a look at it. Alright guys, so that's the OGIO Flight Vest. They also refer to it as a utility vest. I don't know the flight vest, whether it means that it was designed for pilots or whatever. Obviously it has a military kind of like look to it. So it's very popular with cameramen, fishermen, motorbike people, hunters and stuff like that. Obviously if you want to be able to walk around pretty free and not having bags hanging off you, but then be able to have lots of pockets that you can get to while you're on the move, or doing whatever you do. So I purchased this off eBay, and it was through Peter Stevens Motorcycles. They've got an eBay, obviously, shop or whatever. The Australian guys will know who Peter Stevens Motorcycles are. For all you international guys, doesn't really matter. So I paid $150 for that. I've had a look, and it ranges here in Australia, $150 to about, you know, $199, depending on where or who you buy it through. In America, Pooks, hey, shush. In America, you can. I've seen it on Amazon for $113, including shipping. I think on OGIO itself, they say recommended retail is $139. That's in America. All right. So I've got all my bits and pieces that I would carry in it at the moment. I'll basically show you all the different pockets. I'll take everything out, weigh it to see how much weight it is. I'll put it on and stuff around. The first thing I wanted to show you, I was saying that I swapped out the hydration pack. That's the hydration pack. So it's a 2 litre hydration pack. On the pictures that you see on the OGIO website, it actually has a big logo of OGIO on it. So I don't know whether this was just a cheap throw-in or not, but I'm not sure if you can tell, but if you can see the discoloration on that. What I can see is that it's got a real creamy look to it. I washed it all out, and it seems to be fine, but I just don't like the idea of seeing that. It makes me a bit irky. So I've just getting that out of it. So I added that liquid containment one. I'm using that one, which I'll show you in a minute. Alright, what do I got to do? How am I going to bloody do this, guys? I'm just going to go through the pockets. So you basically have 2 main big pockets, which are on the front here. Actually, I'll bring it in a little bit closer so you get a closer up look. Oh, and of course, I've already put bloody patches and bits and pieces on it to make it mine. Alright, so you've got your 2 main pockets here. Open that up. As you can see, that's a big, well, not big, but I mean that's a sizable thing that fits in there. Oh, Jesus. on this side, you've got another big pocket, pretty much the same size as that. In that I've just got the sat phone, and that's some emergency foods shit. Whatever. On the front here, you've got individual pockets. There's not a huge amount of stuff that you can put in those. In this one here, I've got, bloody get it out while it's jumping around, just sun lotion and the lip balm. I've got very used to using these things because obviously I've come from being on the road bike with the open face helmet, so I've always chucking that on, otherwise I end up with a bloody red face. And then in that, I knew that was gonna happen. God, I just put a screw up in the thing so I could hang that there to make it easier to show you guys, and I thought it was gonna fall out, and it bloody well did. Hang on, let me get myself readjusted. All right, so I fixed myself up. Nothing that a bloody 4-inch nail doesn't fix. And this one here just got me multi-tool, just sitting in there. One thing that I've looking around and looking at some of the reviews and stuff, and the idea is not to try and put anything too hard. Something that if you come off and you land on it, that it's not going to bloody, really hurt you or break a bone or something like that. So that's those two pockets there. You've got a pocket up here, which I've actually just got my wallet sitting in. Underneath there's another pocket just in there. I've just strapped this thing around here. We're still going to work out, we might put some Velcro or something onto here to maybe stabilise it, but I want to go out and jump on the bike with it and give it a bit of a run and just see whether that's not going to be a problem. The other thing with the spot tracker, having it here, I liked it on the bike because I could put it out there away from me as being a block for the line of side of the sky. So, because the number one thing for the spot tracker is if something happens, I can press a button and the cavalry come running. Followed very closely in second place is so that Nay can always see where I am and if I'm moving and all that kind of stuff, just makes her feel a lot better. And then third is when we do a big trip or whatever, people can watch the progress as we're going along. That was the whole idea of it. So that's why I wanted to make sure that it always was tracking where we were going, getting always a good line of sight. So being that it would be on here, obviously it can't see back, the sky, all that. You're kind of like halving what it can see. So I've got, as I said, I've got to test that out. I don't know. So it may be that I have to put it up on the shoulder. I gave that a bit of a try, but it was too close to the helmet, and I thought, yeah, I can feel it there a little bit. So we're going to run with that. It's then got another pocket up here, which I don't have anything in there. It's quite a sizable pocket. What else you got? You've got all these little bloody, I don't know what you call those. Some of you guys will know what they're bloody called, but the little loop things that you can attach things to. Same with on here. Bloody bits and pieces. I'm sure there's a particular word for it, but I don't know what it is. Got little D-shackle things up here. You've got your 3 points of attachment there, there, and there. They're all adjustable, so that if you're just going to wear it on your just over a t-shirt, which is, we'll run through that in a minute, or if you've got your jacket on and then that's to go over, you can adjust it to suit, and it's really easy to do, like just as simple as that. So I think that's all the pockets there is on there. I suppose the only downside to this is that it is, when it's hot, it's an extra layer of thing that you're not getting the air to. I mean, it's got all this bloody, what do you call it? The hell do you call that? I don't know. I do know, but I can't bloody think of it now. Now on the back, you've got a pocket here, Velcroed. So that's a nice big size there. Put whatever you bloody well want in there. This one up here, that's for the hydration pack. Now that one there, so that's 3 litres. Oh, hang on, you can't see that. Bring that down. That's a 3 litre one. So that came out of that liquid containment bag. I really like this rather than the ovaled pourer in things. These work really good, whether it's for filling up or trying to dry it out. So if I want to dry it out pretty quick, I'll just rinse it all out, clean it and whatever, and then I get a hairdryer, turn this upside down, and I'll just blow the hair, have the hairdryer blowing the air into there. Obviously you don't have it on a really hot setting, just have it on one of the lower settings because you don't want to melt the bloody plastic. But to seal it back over, and it seals it so good, you just slide that back on. Really simple, so I really like that. So that's a 3 litre one, and I can fill that 3 litres, which will do, and it still fits all in that, even though it was originally only had a 2 litre one in it. Then on the back of both sides you have another 2 big bloody pockets. So what I've done is I've got these what they call MSR dromedary bags. So that holds 2 litres of water. On the Simpson I had these strapped to the sides of Max, which I wouldn't do again unless I had a way of fixing up a little bit of an issue, and that is, can you see that? That's a little spout. So you can take this off, which I'll do. There you go. So you can fill that up or take it off and just pour it all out, whatever you want to do. These are really tough. I don't know about this plastic. This knobby thing seems to be a bit of a bad idea if you ask me. Good in one way, bad in another way. So then you got your little pourer, so it slows down the pour. You don't spill as much if you know, if you bloody do spill it or whatever. And then you've got that one again, so it's even smaller. So you can just take a little bit of a trickle if you're like, yo, you're just about dying, and you've got to save every bit of bloody water. You use that. But the downside to that was that when I'd fall off the bike and this would hit the side, sometimes, and even when I'd walk past it, sometimes that would get caught. So I'd be bloody off the bike going, Jesus, what the hell happened? And then I'm looking down and here's this water peeing out the side of my bike. And when you're out there, water's precious. By having that in here, will obviously alleviate that problem. So I could I don't think in here, I'm going to test it again, but I'm pretty sure I could only get 1.5, fill it up to 1.5 litres to fit it in that pocket. Now you could just get, you know, your plastic 1 litre or 1.5 litre bottles from the supermarket and just stick them in there. I didn't want to do that because I've heard of guys coming off the bike and landing on the back of their pack and bloody, you know, fracturing their back and stuff like that. And a bottle is going to be a hard object. There's pretty much not much compact. I mean, it's like having a solid piece of steel, I suppose, in there. Not that bad, but you know what I mean. Whereas if I have that and it's not fully done up, all this water is going to be quite a cushioning effect, and because it's a large area, that should help. Alright, so there you go. And alright, so next bit. Alright guys, so I've now emptied all the stuff out. I've actually gone and filled up all these. I've scientifically filled these to 1.5 litres. The Americans use a different measurement for that as well. I don't know quarts and gallons and stuff like that, so I'll be putting the what I'm saying down there for the Americans. Alright, my scientific thing was this is a 600 ml bottle of water. Filled that up twice, which gave me 1200 mils or 1.2 litres, and then half filled it, which is 300 mils, which gives me the 1.5. I just quickly checked it before and it fits in there. Alright, so we're going to weigh it and see what it weighs, but before I do that, I just realised when I pulled the stuff out, in that back pocket there, on the one side, can you see that? What the hell is it? Oh, Jesus. Hey, bloody Oki straps, they're dangerous. Is a spot where you can put some tools. On the other side, it doesn't have that. They have a double check. Yeah, no, it's just empty. Alright, so that's everything off it. The only thing that's added to it now... Oh, hang on. Shit. That would have added to the weight. That's it. Is the tiny little whistle and a couple of patches, which is negligible. Alright guys, I had to cut the bloody video because I stuffed up the measurements. I was all over the bloody joint. Alright, so I've whacked that on the scale. It's telling me that it's 2 pounds 8 ounces, so 2.8 pounds. And in the other one it's just over 1.1 kilograms. Now I've grabbed the liquid containment pack. It should be lighter, it feels a lot lighter. Just as a comparison, nothing touching. So that is just over 1.8 pounds, which is 5, 6, about 700 grams. So that's a little bit lighter. Cool bananas. Now I'm gonna bring it down on the ground and we'll just whack everything in it. And then we'll talk a bit of shit. Alright guys, so I'll quickly whack all this stuff in. So obviously with the hydration part of it, so that's 3 litres and you've got your 1.5, so that's going to give me a total of 6 litres of water on my back. So 6 litres means that's going to be 6 kilograms of weight, which sounds pretty bloody heavy, but the way this vest, the way you wear it, it just it just seems to carry really well, and the fact that you can have it sitting on the back of the bike, taking a lot of the weight. There. So you can most probably get a little bit more water in those ones as well if you wanted to. There you go. Alright guys, so it's bloody heavy now, I can tell you. I just weighed it on I had to use the fat bastard scales. I weighed it on that. It now weighs 8.5 or nearly 8.5 kilograms. Now obviously, you know, from start you don't bloody fill everything up. The whole idea is you only put what you need in it, and then if you're going to the French line or whatever, you fill that sucker up as much as you can. Lock and loaded. So there you go. And that feels really good. If I had in the liquid containment one, if I had that amount of weight in the back there, that's going to be wanting to be bloody pulling back when you're not. Obviously when you're on the bike and it's holding the weight, it's fine, but it just distributes that weight, you know. You can feel the weight, but it's really comfortable to wear. So I'll rip that off and I'll just chuck on my jacket and just give you a look at that, and then I'll go out to the bike and you can see how it kind of like sits on the back seat. So this is the jacket that I would wear. Juggle up. All that on, and then that just automatically kind of like pulled out a bit. It's also got obviously adjustments on the sides, so if you're a really fat bastard, you can still fit into it. So there you go, and that feels pretty good. But it's that whole if it's hot, I don't know how much, you know, air restriction that's going to be, but we'll see. All right, I'll take you out to the bike. All right, so hopefully you can see that. Stand up. So you can see that sitting on the back there. So it's just taking that off. I mean, obviously, if you're going to go like that or be standing up, that's when you take the weight. But then when you're in the easy bits, you know, you can just settle back, and then that just takes that bit of weight off there. All right, back into the man cave. All right, so there you go. That's the bloody OGIO Flight Vest. Now, I haven't taken it out, I haven't ridden with it, so I can't tell you anything like that. Obviously, as I go through this series, most probably at the end of it I'll go off somewhere and do a pretty good bloody test of everything. So yeah, I'm pretty bloody happy with that. Obviously I've still got to work out the that to make sure that spot track is in the right position. So now I mentioned about that video of the two guys that went out riding. I think it was in America somewhere, and one of the guys got ahead, and he ended up, you see with his video camera, you see everything. He goes over the cliff, he lands on the first shelf, and then his bike goes over onto the next shelf, and then you see him wake up and basically wondering what the hell's going on. I searched and searched and bloody searched trying to find it. I found it. I found that bloody video. So here's the link to it. Also in the description there will be a link that you can click on and have a look at that video. That was kind of like the thing that got me inspired about, you know, maybe I need to do something like that, because it's so easy for shit to go wrong. Alright guys, I think that's as much as I can bloody do on that. I reckon I've already bloody pushed the video, as I thought it was only going to be a small one. But anyway, cool bananas. I'll see you in the next video. I don't know what it is, but there you go. Keep on riding, guys. Alright guys, well this bloody thing's running quickly. I didn't mention, this is not really so much for packing light, it was a safety thing. After watching that video and the guy'd come off and his bike's bloody gone, he can't get to it, or in the event of where the bike has, you've fallen off and the bike's landed on you and you're trapped, you can't bloody move it yourself, everything is in arm's reach. So I've got the spot tracker, hit the button, send the bloody cavalry. I've got the satellite phone, hopefully get reception for the same thing, get people out. I've got a multi-tool there if I need to cut my leg off or my arm off. I've got the food ration in there, which would keep me going for a bloody, you know, a little while. The sat phone, as I said. First aid kit if I need to, hopefully, you know, nothing too serious that I can just kind of manage myself, which also has a bit of survival stuff like, what do you call it, what do they call, bloody compass. And then of course I've got all the water on there as well. So pretty much, and of course, you know, the wallet, I've got, in case of emergency, notice stuff in there, all my details, as well as in my first aid kit. The other thing I didn't mention too was that that's got a lot of, I suppose, expensive stuff, yeah, expensive stuff, I suppose, stuff that you know, could be stolen. So when you get off the bike, and like when me and Ken, we did a walk up to the Aboriginal paintings, and it was a bloody long hike to get up there, and our bikes were way back at the car park. So, you know, leaving certain things on the bike mightn't be a bloody good idea. I can take my jacket off, wear that on there. I can most probably, you know, remove out some of the extra weight if I've got too much water or stuff like that, and that would be nice just to be able to carry those bits and pieces. And you know, sometimes you go to places where there's cliffs, and if you fall off a bloody cliff, as long as it's not a big cliff, you've got all that gear with you as well. So so there you go. I thought I'd better bloody mention that. All right, guys, catch you later.